Elder Tree finally made the decision to have Big Tree lead the tribe to the east side of the Black Forest to find you. After all, your weapon alone shows that your tribe must be very powerful. He himself would stay behind to hold off the enemy, since he couldn't move anyway. Big Tree held back his sorrow and nodded heavily, hurriedly having everyone pack their belongings and set off eastward. But even he wasn't sure. You had been gone for days. Where you were now, whether you were even still alive, he had no idea. But now, if they didn't leave, they could only wait to die. He had no choice. Before long, the enemies behind them found their tribe. The treehouse where they had lived for generations was now a sea of fire. Elder Tree hoped and prayed to burn a few of the enemies who had invaded their tribe, to buy everyone some time. After this calamity, the Tree tribe, which originally had only 32 people, was now reduced to 30. The group, dejected, hurried eastward into the Black Forest. Originally, Big Tree didn't have much hope of finding you, but when he saw the fresh tree branches stuck in the ground along the way, he immediately regained confidence. It only took them a day and a half to reach the edge of the Black Forest. By the time they came out, it was already evening, and the sky was crimson under the setting Sunday. The Tree tribe people were immediately captivated by the scene before them, as this was the first time they had seen the outside world. But Big Tree kept frowning. The markers you left stopped here, and he didn't know where to look. Just as he was at a loss, he suddenly noticed signs of life near the creek. Upon closer inspection, there were many animal footprints in the soft mud, including the tracks of your strange boots. Big Tree immediately breathed a sigh of relief. He knew you must be nearby, so he told everyone to spend the night there. While Big Tree was leading his tribe on the run, you were carefully searching in the depths of the swamp. It wasn't easy to find rice among the dense reeds. Suddenly, your eyes lit up. You thought of something. Water birds love to eat this kind of rice, so you just needed to look for places where water birds gathered. With that thought, you immediately took action, paddling the dugout canoe while vigorously hitting the water surface with a wooden stick. Suddenly, a flock of water birds burst from the reeds not far away. You quickly paddled towards the direction where the water birds were startled. As you got closer, a small patch of rice with hanging ears slowly came into view. Your eyes suddenly burst with light, and you couldn't help but feel a surge of joy in your heart. That was it. This was the wild rice you were looking for. Immediately, you paddled even harder towards the submerged beach. But just as your boat was about to reach its destination, a shout suddenly rang out from behind. Turning back at the sound, you saw several naked primitives floating on the water, holding onto a few pieces of driftwood. They waved at you and shouted incessantly, looking very anxious. These people were from the Lin tribe, who lived in this swamp, a tribe of only 50 people. At this time, they were harvesting water caltrop, their winter food reserves, when they suddenly saw a fellow human sitting on a magical object floating on the water, slowly drifting towards what the elder called the Forbidden Death Zone. Out of kindness, Lin Cow, the leader of the Lin tribe's harvesting team, hurriedly shouted at you, hoping you wouldn't continue to go that way. Unfortunately, you couldn't understand their language and just looked at them with